Welcome to 周正访谈 Beautiful Life. This is HTTV 62.3. Today, I will introduce the wonderful person, Prince Mario Max Schaumburg-Lippel. Prince Mario Max, welcome to our show, 周正 show. Welcome to our be the guest. I'm very honored to interview today. So I want to first everybody know you. I think you are famous even in the Chinese community. I want to know a little bit introduce yourself and your family to our audience.
I'd love to. So my name is Prince Mario Max Schaumburg-Lippel of Germany. It's a very long name and I go usually by Prince Mario Max. And my family founded the cities Hamburg, Lübeck and Kiel in Germany. These are among the biggest cities, not only in Germany but also in Europe. And the princely family has a history for more than 1,000 years now. And as my father's mother, my grandmother, is Princess Feodora of Denmark, my family is also related to the oldest monarchy on this planet in Europe, that is the Danish monarchy. And through the Danish monarchy, we're coming from King Christian IX. And King Christian IX was known in Europe as the grandfather of Europe because through his siblings, through his children and grandchildren, he created pretty much the European royalty. And in 2017, 25 countries are run by relatives of my father, of our family, which is always fun. So you name them, it's Queen Elizabeth or it's Queen Carl Gustaf of Sweden, who is a cousin of my dad, or Queen Margaret of Denmark, who is another cousin of my father. So it's pretty cool because all the royals married into the other families for decades, and therefore it's one big family. And I like that because it makes Europe very peaceful.
Okay, do you have the relatives or in the United States? I know right now you grew up in Germany.
I grew up in Europe, absolutely. I grew up in Austria, in Germany.
Also in Germany. You were born, which country you were?
I was born in Austria, in Salzburg.
Austria. Music.
In the city of Sound of Music, in the city where Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born.
Oh, Mozart.
In the city where Karajan, the amazing conductor, was growing. So this is a magical city where I was born.
So you were born in Austria, but you work in a main country like Germany?
Exactly. I was born in Austria, but what happened then is as a little boy I was already on stage. That's why I love the arts. I was performing an opera called Boris Godunov. So the Salzburg Festival is a big arts and music festival. And after I went to school in Austria, I went to Germany. And my family is a German princely family. But my father, being the German prince, born in the Klinike Palace in Berlin, my mother, being Austrian from Salzburg, I have half and half, which I really like. So I can speak German, but I also can speak Austrian, which has a little bit a different intonation.
Oh, but I know that Austria and Germany, they speak the same language, Germany.
They do, but you know, it's like the Americans and the Canadians, there is always this little difference.
A little bit of pronunciation.
And every country is very proud of themselves. And the great thing is, if I go to Austria, my mom is Austrian. If I go to Germany, my father is German. So it's very easy.
So when did you come to the United States?
I came to the United States for the first time when I was a little boy. And my first trip has been to Florida.
Florida. Miami.
And then I was a little boy. We were going to Disney World and seeing all these attractions. And I fell in love with this country. What I really like is the culture, the diversity, the many cultures that mix here, the many faces that mix here, the many heritages, religions, everything is a big mix. And this is fantastic because you feel it's a very open-minded country. And it's very friendly. You feel welcome when you come to the United States. So I always wanted to come back. And then the first place where I really lived in America was New York City.
New York City. That's a very commercial, political, cultural,
artistic
city. That's a very rich city. Yeah.
Very rich city, yes.
So when you plan to live, survive in this country?
I really planned on moving to America and commencing my entertainment career here when I reached what my goals were in Europe. Because in Europe I started writing for Bertelsmann magazines, and then I had my own magazine I started. And after this I did radio shows. After radio I wanted to grow into television, and then when we started the own show by the name of Astro Royal out of Berlin, and it reaches 106.2 million households, then I found out I want to do the next step. And my show now is on since 8 years. So it's a very long time for television.
Years.
8 years.
Okay, cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I heard that I read the Google to Prince Mario Max. They introduced you.
Yes.
Used to be the TV host, and you do a lot of the magazine, entertainment, the business.
Hosting, acting, and also writing. I wrote several books, and I'm an author with Random House, which is the world's biggest book publishing company. And I was author of the months of August 2015. That was when my book launched with the Bertelsmann Group, and now I've written so far like about 6 books already.
Okay,
so I like
you are very successful in Europe and Germany anyway. So when you came to United States, when you survived, you have to begin everything.
Oh my God!
You have to start begin. So
it's a struggle. I have to tell you, it's a struggle.
Struggling.
Start from scratch because nobody knows you.
Yeah.
In Europe, I have my TV show. I write my columns. I'm everywhere. And my family is the royal family with all the relatives. It's different.
Yeah.
And then you come to a new country. All of a sudden, you are like everyone else. You have to start from scratch. You feel like you just come out of school and you completely begin to reestablish yourself. And I tell you one thing. Is it scary? Maybe. Is it worth it? Yes. How does it feel? Amazing, because you can prove to yourself, I want to do it again. I had my career in Europe that is ongoing, and now I want to discover another continent and the capital of entertainment. I'm living in Hollywood. And Hollywood for me is the heart of the entertainment world, and I want to conquer Hollywood by storm. That's how I came here about
Hollywood
a year
is
ago.
kind of like the entertainment kingdom.
You're right. Absolutely.
One of the kingdom, so you have to go to try to practice yourself. Practice makes it perfect, right?
And it has other royalty. I found out Hollywood has its own royalty. A dear friend of mine, Margaret O'Brien, she's a famous Oscar winner, and she, for example, is Hollywood royalty. So then I said, great, I am European royalty, but now I'm gonna work myself up into Hollywood royalty.
Good.
Next goal.
Good. So how different have you felt the life between the Europe and the American life?
The life in Europe and America is completely different. Nothing is the same at all. It's a different culture, different food, a different drive, and also a different pace. So you really need to adapt to where you move. I always feel when you travel to a country, then you need to respect the rules, you need to respect the traditions, and you need to respect how this country rules and runs. And when I came here, I thought to myself, everything is different, but I love it. And so I have to tell you, in Europe it's slower, it's more quiet. In America, everything from television to business is fast and thriving, and it's very, very exciting. I like that.
坐落于转18的老成都川菜馆是由四川特级名厨和专业管理团队打造的餐饮品牌企业。自开业以来，其正宗地道的川菜佳肴受到了众多消费者的一致好评。无论是本地食客，还是远道而来的中外客人，都为品尝到正宗美味的川菜而津津乐道，流连忘返。老成都川菜馆现承接公司、教会、社团、学校、社区及家庭各类发展的订餐服务， 近期将开展预订优惠的订餐活动，详情请咨询909-367-2829或来电洽谈。1220 South Diamond Bar Boulevard, Suite D, Diamond Bar, California 91765.
So that means, Prince Mario Max, you like a challenge. Inside, your character, you like a challenge.
I
you
love
want to take the challenge, you want to pass the challenge, overcome the challenge or difficulties, then you feel very exciting.
Yes.
That's your character.
Yes, that's my character. You're completely right. And one important thing I also want to share with everyone who is watching us is if you are a prince and if you come from this background, that doesn't mean that the life goes always like this. Also, I have my ups and downs, my roller coaster, my sad moments, my disappointments. But the great thing is, I manifested in myself, never ever give up, always look forwards, always walk onwards. And my father taught me one very smart thing. My father, Prince Valdemar, said, whenever you fall and struggle, you get back up, you stand straight, you put your crown back on your head and continue walking. And I love that because it really teaches us we should not give up, and we all go through things.
Never give up.
And we can continue because there is nothing we cannot reach. We can reach everything.
We can reach everything. Okay, even the moon.
Even the moon. We did it.
We did. Okay. And you are prince.
Yes.
So it's not everybody can be, because they have to, you were born in a royal family.
Yes.
So when you grow up, tell me a little bit about your childhood when you grew up in Austria or Germany. Have you had the privilege to yourself? When you got the privilege, when you go to school, people think you are different with another kids. How did you feel?
I tell you one thing, the privilege was more exposure than privilege. So you're constantly under the microscope, under the radar. People are interested what a prince does, how a prince acts and reacts in life, and how a prince performs. So a prince cannot really fail because you're constantly under the radar. People watch you, people talk about you. So I felt that's a lot of pressure, especially as a kid. And then you really need to, that's what I did, like just work harder and try to be a good person and try to be a nice guy and try to finish my education. I studied, I got my degree at the university. I have 3 master degrees and a doctorate, a PhD. So I was working very hard all my life because I want that my family, my mother, Princess Antonia, and my father, Prince Valdemar, are proud of myself. And as a boy, I was taught by a wonderful family member of mine by the name of Princess Helga Lee. And she was this elderly lady with the big curly hair. And Princess Helga Lee, she pretty much was prince school for me. So she taught me all these little things. What to do at the horse race, how to eat caviar. That's why I love the caviar, which is so healthy. I'm going to talk to you about caviar in a little while.
Okay.
Then she taught me how to communicate with the queen, how to communicate with an ambassador, how to greet people. All these different things and cultures. And she traveled with me. And the most I learned when I was traveling. So when I was about, I think 14, I traveled to all the continents and I learned about cultures. And what this taught me was respect. I'm all about respect. If you respect other people, their traditions, their cultures, their religions, there is no space for any problems or difficulty because respect brings such a nice climate to communication to the world. I love respectful people and I want to spread this thought to the children, to the people. Respect each other.
Good. That's a good word. I learned that. Respect. Even you go to the new country, you travel to another new country, if you respect the local culture, you will feel comfortable.
Yes, and welcome.
Have you been to China?
Not yet. Oh my goodness. That's my biggest dream actually. I want to come to China. I love everything about Chinese culture.
Okay.
From the design to, I go to museums and I see the Asian artifacts first, because I love China.
So,
and secondly, I just need to tell you one thing. I eat usually 99% of my time Chinese food. It's so delicious.
so you like the Chinese culture and like the Chinese food.
I love it.
Okay, I know right now you are very popular in our Chinese community because you do a lot of show. Even last time you do the show with working with the Chinese artists like the clothing, the 2017. I was luckily I was the host for the stage. We're working together. Also, then the Chinese gala, the festival gala, we worked together. We invited you. You were invited to be our VIP of the working there. So that's why I ask you how much you know Chinese culture.
Well, I would start with Confucius, because already Confucius was already almost 500 years before Christ, the one who brought my favorite, let's say, life message to our world, because he was the one who spread that through knowledge and through respect, people find the best way. And I love that. So I feel that the entire world's principles of our modern society are actually based on Chinese culture. I believe in that. And it's funny that you mentioned the galas. I love to work with the Chinese community. There is no one that is more energetic, and when I performed on stage, I really felt the energy in the room. It's nice. And I've done big TV shows here. I've done movies now in the last, I'm here only a year, but I've done like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've done The Millionaire Matchmaker. I've done a very big TV show by the name of K. Michelle. I've done movies with, I've produced a film that won Culver City Film Festival. So I'm working a lot, and also many Americans know me now. But for me, there is something so special about the Chinese community, the energy they give you when you're on stage. And I mean, you must love it. You have this all the time, working with your beautiful people. I mean, I love it.
Okay, so thank you for love the Chinese culture and the Chinese food, all of these things. Okay, so when you came to United States, when you travel to another country, how if the people recognize you are Prince, they love the people, even the girls will be love to make the friends with you. How you deal with the relationship? I want to know that.
Yeah, you're right. There is a lot of interest that comes with the Prince name, with a heritage like we have. And I deal with this interest with friendliness and tell people more about my family and about my life. And it's very charming and very sweet when people want to know more about it. And I'm an ambassador and a messenger of the values my family has for a very long time. Because we are standing for one world with a very peaceful regulation, that everyone communicates well with each other.
Okay.
And second thing, we also stand for openness. So what we feel in my family is snotty people that are arrogant are nobodies. My family is very friendly to everyone. That starts from the one who cleans the floor at Starbucks to the one who is the president of a state. For us, people are people, everyone is the same, and we respect every single human being if they're a good person.
Good. I like the concept. Okay, here's the thing. I mean, you are Prince.
Yes.
You know, if the people know you are Prince, okay. When they like the media, all the American media, I think all the world media, they love interesting you
Always.
with some girls, the story.
24/7 story. You're right.
Okay, this is a story like another royal family. They go to the bar, they drink with the girls. They have a lot of photograph as a rumor or something.